What's up, skate rats? We are back with another skate park's renovations, but this time it's all about luxury. It's something I've been putting off for a long time, but I'm finally going to be installing air conditioning in the skate park. And the reason being is when it's gloomy days like this and it's like 95 degrees out, when the rain starts coming down, the humidity cranks up in there to like 90-95%, and it becomes really hard to breathe. So we're putting an air conditioner in. I've held out. But on another note, I painted the benches in the front of it. Not too bad, right? So I'm gonna go unload my van and let's get onto this project. Step one to this build is mapping out where it's gonna go, which I think I already know where it's gonna go, but I gotta take measurements and I gotta make sure, because there's ladders on the back side of the building that I don't wanna run into accidentally, and I really only wanna cut a hole in the wall once. I'm thinking right there where that blue rail is sitting is probably gonna be the best place. I do need to verify that it can fit in there, and I need to make sure I don't run into the ladders on the outside. So out here I have a max of like a hair under 5 feet from the corner to the first ladder. Real quick, one thing I hate about my house, I don't know if you guys can see all these little things here. This is a mulberry tree. I asked my neighbor if I could cut it down years ago. They said no, so I cut it back every year because these fall in my yard and they rot. And I'm currently wearing my skate shoes, so I'm gonna go switch to my boots. Okay, back in the building. I have it measured to 55, which is 5 under 5 feet because of the thicknesses of the wall and that, and a little overcompensation. And I don't know, it looks pretty decent. So let's measure and see if I'll even fit in this hole to begin with. Okay, so I got a width of like 16 inches roughly, and that slot is about 19. So I think if I slide it all the way over to the one side of the 2x4, I'll clear that ladder probably by about 4 or 5 inches. And I want it close enough to the ladder because I want to be able to cover it up in the wintertime. So that's kind of the idea, that I'll just slide it over as much as I can until it, touches the other thing. But we need to make a frame now, so this can actually sit on something. Okay, real bad drawing, but I need a total width of 18.5 inches to go between those two studs, and then a total of 12 inches tall for the AC to slide in. I need it built like this, where the ends come down further than the centerpieces, just so that I can slide it down into the wall and then screw it like here and here and not have to worry about being in the wall at all. So I have a 2x3 and we're gonna get cutting. It's all screwed together and it fits in. So now, the part I've not been looking forward to, cutting the hole in the wall. Okay, so I got a portion of it in. I had to take it apart because this roof beam up here would not allow me to slip it down into the wall. So I had to pull the top off of it. The downside to all of it is now I also have to figure out how to screw this in past that roof beam. And on top of that, I need to still cut the hole through the wall. I guess I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit more center so that I'm not impeded by the wood. I just really wanted to use it as a template though. So in kind of a cruel twist of fate, when I had that frame in there, it was too fat. The air conditioner couldn't fit through because I had to redesign it because of the roof thing. And honestly, today, I guess I'm just not on my game. I'm not really looking too far ahead. But it's getting late. It's like after 8 o'clock already, and I want to spend some time with my daughter today. So I just went for it and I cut a hole. And instead of doing a full frame, I'm just gonna do a piece on bottom and a piece on top to lock it in. And then I could always shim it later if I have to. Okay, it fits. Normally I shut the fan off when I do this, but I'm dying in here, guys. What I'm gonna try to do now is lower this a little bit so I can put a screw in each side and know for a fact that it's not gonna go anywhere, which I mean, in theory, it really shouldn't anyway. And then I need to insulate everything back up and test it out. Okay, I can't make this up. It fits, but I could not get any closer if I wanted to. So, now we gotta seal it up. Okay, I am sweaty, and after a long street mission today, I am tired and I wanna go spend time with my family. So it is a mess in here. I'm gonna have to clean this up tomorrow night after everyone goes to bed, but it is running. I'm gonna let it run for 2 hours and we will see how cool it gets in here with the doors closed and stuff like that. Everything's sealed up, that should be dried tomorrow, but where it drains is way past that, so that really shouldn't be affected by it running. But we'll see how it looks tomorrow, guys. Okay, the foam is dry and it's the next night. I do not see any gaps or anything that will let water come in. I'm going to check it out tomorrow because it's midnight right now. And make sure in the daylight that it looks good. I still haven't cleaned up in here, but once again, life, being a dad. So tomorrow I'm going to finish cleaning up in here and actually get a skate session in here. And part of me hopes it's hot tomorrow because today it was 65, so it's kind of how things work, right? You install the air conditioner during the heat wave, and the second it finally gets put in, heat wave's over. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I am going to be sorry if you guys hear the air conditioner in videos. If it really messes with the audio badly, then I'll probably be turning it off just like I do with the fan when I'm talking. But besides that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I needed a video like this to take a break from skating a little bit. And really quick, I just want to tell a story. Maybe you guys have dealt with this because this is the first time for me. And then I'll actually say goodbye and end this video. I want this video to drag on, but I kind of want to talk about this. See if you guys have dealt with this before. So 2 tricks ago in my video part, which was last week, I did a trick down a gap. It's the height of a 6 stair. Since the Dern brothers, I like to measure things now and just find out perspectives in that. But it's the height of a 6 stair, and you guys know I don't skate drops often. So I tried this trick for 2 hours, and I promised that right afterwards I was going to take my wife and my daughter to the zoo. So try it for 2 hours. I do probably 200 or 300 tries. Immediately take them to the zoo, and the next day my legs are aching pretty badly. Now my normal days off are Thursday and Sunday from work, but in this case I had switched my days to help a coworker out, and it was now Friday and Sunday. So I only had a day and a half to recover before my next, attempt at this. And my legs were already really toasted when I got there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try a couple of tries. If it's not working today, I'm just going to call it for the day. And I tried like 3 or 4 of them, and the adrenaline started to peak up, and my legs kind of just went numb. So I tried for another 2+ hours, and then I ended up in the middle of a lightning storm. Like, I should not have been outside. Thankfully, I was able to dodge the downpouring rain by like 4 or 5 minutes by the time I got back to my van. But I'm watching the lightning like rip across very, very close all around me. Sadly, you can't see it in the footage, but I was also under a massive metal bridge. I was an ionized mess of sweat. So definitely shouldn't have been out skating, but I kind of just went robotic and just kept hucking down this. In the last skate park frustrations short, that actually is doing pretty well. You see me screaming, it's because I did a Baker Maker. And then the next 15 tries, I messed up on the roll up to it, which just, started to shoot my brain and just fry me out. But I finally ended up landing it. What I wanted to talk about, though, is what happened after that. So the next day, I have never felt my legs this sore before. I've never felt my muscles ever. Like, the soreness and a pain sense was worse than me tearing muscles, which I've done before. So, for that first day, just the pain was insane, but I made it through work. I obviously got home, got to rest and do stuff like that. The next day, the pain was cut in about half, so a normal soreness of muscles, but I kept getting random muscle spasms, where every time I'd walk and I'd take a step, my knee would randomly lock up, just from the muscles around it locking up. And I'd almost fall, and I looked so stupid wandering around at work. Like, I had to kind of explain it to everybody at work why it looked like I was walking a tightrope. And of course, they got a good kick and good laugh out of it. But I had those spasms for about 3 days. So that was crazy to deal with. And they were so intermittent that I had no idea. Like, I could go the first 3 hours of the day and be like, oh, my legs are good. And then it would do it. And I was like, oh, crap. But on the 5th day, I did go out and I did skate again. I did get a trick for my video part. It's definitely not a top tier trick, but I'm stoked on it. I mean, I'm stoked on most of the tricks so far. But have you guys ever had that where you just jumped down something for way too long and you just suffered and suffered for days after? Even right now, my legs are like 92% good. If I kind of move in an odd way, my quads hurt. But I don't know. We're getting towards the end. I believe I just did a count. I have 22 tricks. I'm hoping to get 30 by the end of July, so then I can kind of just spend all of August either upgrading certain tricks that I've done before, in this part or just stacking more footage in general. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and as always, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Have a great day, guys, and keep pushing forward.